G'day everyone and welcome to another Tempest video. You'll see there's an announcement out today and that's regarding some work that the team and I have been doing for the last few weeks, and it's kind of a big deal. It's pretty exciting for Tempest, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Right here we have a summary of the announcement and the key points. The one that you want to see here is that we have released an exploration target. Now, there are exploration targets and there are exploration targets. The first definition is, of course, just a generic place on a project that one is interested in doing exploration on. The second definition, which is the one we're using here, is a reporting tool that companies who believe they have something, they can prescribe an estimate to what could be there. But more on that later. Before I go any further, I'm sure someone will ask, this is kind of a big deal. Why isn't there anything about this in the title of the announcement? Well, the short version of that is that the ASX has some, frankly, weird rules. And one of those is that public companies aren't allowed to put exploration targets in the header, the title, or the bullet points at the summary at the start of the announcements. I do note that there's a very well-known Western Australian gold producer who released an exploration target a few weeks ago that has both the words exploration target and the numbers in all three of those. But here at Tempest, we actually follow the rules. But moving on, here's a bit of the background about the Remorse target and the results from our previous drilling. You can see the previous two announcements. You can check the last one out up here. Scrolling down to the next page, we get into the exploration target stuff in earnest. So, see here, we have a table with the ranges of how much we think could be there. This is part of the reporting required, and you need a lower range and an upper range of what could be there. And certainly we think through our calculations that the Remorse target is going to yield more in the upper end of that range. And we've got some pretty solid reasons to say that too, actually. First of all, we did a lot of great mapping and field work. You can check out some videos about that up here. And all that work put together means that we've got a very solid handle on what the geology is at the project and how large it is. Second, we have at least 4 holes that definitively intersected the main iron zone that we've discovered there, and those holes showed great consistency both in thickness and in grade. Thirdly, before we started drilling, we made a whole bunch of 3D models that we used to predict what we're going to hit in the drilling, and the thickness and the geometry of our models matched what we hit in the drilling almost perfectly, actually. And if we scroll down here, you can actually see that 3D model down here on the next page. So normally an exploration target is pre-drilling, and as such, we think our estimate is very well backed up, and in fact, more than most exploration targets you'll see on the market. And it's also pretty conservative. This is just a starting point for what we've estimated to date. Going down a bit further here, and we see a map of the Yalgoo project, and around that we have the extensive infrastructure that I've often talked about in the past. This means that if/when this deposit gets developed, the ore that is mined can be processed and or transported very efficiently from project to a port to be sold on to future customer. We'll have other dedicated news coming out that will expand on that topic, and certainly we've got some thoughts on how that infrastructure and the end results can be used, but that's another announcement for the future. On the next page, we've got a list of future work that we've got planned for the Remorse target. I'll let you know in on a little secret. Some of this work has already started. I'm sure that won't be a shock to many of you who know that we don't muck around here at Tempest. Well, that's about it. As I said, this is a big announcement. Tempest is going from a pure explorer to a company that actually has something, and probably a non-trivial project at that. It looks like we've got about 100 million tonnes of high-grade magnetite iron ore, and we've got great infrastructure around us that means that we can develop it quickly and cheaply when it comes to that stage. So with that, I'll remind you, everyone, to subscribe to our YouTube and sign up at our Investor Hub, and make sure that you get all the latest news that's going to be coming through very soon. Look forward to speaking to you in a future video, but until then.